Yep, we're also watching the Gulf for this tropical depression that has formed. Right now, we're still looking at Tropical Depression 2, likely to become Tropical Storm Bertha by tomorrow. It has been barely moving today as it sits just west of Tampa. It's basically stationary. We've got winds sustained at 30 miles per hour. Now it's slowly expected to move to the northwest into the next 2 days, and then more of a westerly track by midweek. And the cone does include southeast Louisiana and South Mississippi, but I expect that we will have minor impacts from this. But we could have a strong tropical storm passing along our coastline by Wednesday. So we're going to be watching and monitoring. Make sure you do stay tuned for the updates. Also, it's expected to keep moving west towards Texas by later this week. Impacts, again, are going to be mostly felt offshore and along the coast, along the central and eastern Gulf Coast. The hurricane hunters did investigate the storm today. The data that they find is crucial in getting a better forecast on what will become Bertha by tomorrow. Right now, it is a big storm. The storms associated with this tropical depression are really spread out. We've had some periodic heavy rain across Florida over the last 2 days as a result of this, and we're going to continue to watch how much it can strengthen. Now, this forecast is not set in stone. If this can stay farther to the south, it will become a stronger system as it spends more time over the open Gulf waters. That will supply it with plenty of strength. As it sits over the warm Gulf waters, we know that's fuel for these storms. However, if it spends a little bit more time farther to the north and hugs the coastline, it will be impacted by land, and then that would make it a weaker system. So there's still variables on, where is it exactly going to track. But so far we know that it's going to be moving westward, basically parallel to the Gulf Coast going into the week ahead. So by Wednesday, we will likely have this system very nearby our coastline by early Wednesday. The timing can still change a little bit, but we're watching for midweek for those impacts. It's being guided by an area of high pressure. That's the main steering current of this system going into this week. That's why it's going to be making that westerly jog, and a whole bunch of tropical moisture is going to be spreading out across the entire Gulf Coast. So we're going to be watching for some rounds of heavy rain for the Gulf Coast, some stronger winds, minor coastal flooding, and also some rough marine hazards offshore. But the system itself is going to be highly sheared. A lot of those impacts are going to be pushed farther to the south in the open Gulf waters, which is good news. But we'll show you what we're looking at the next few days. So the rest of today is going to be pretty quiet. Not expecting really anything other than it's very hot. Tomorrow, also pretty quiet, just very hot on Monday. Maybe a couple isolated showers and storms on Monday. Tuesday, also not a whole lot of action going on. It may get a little bit breezy as the system gets closer to us, and it could be strengthening as it gets closer to us as it sits offshore in the warm Gulf waters. We'll likely see a few passing showers and storms on Tuesday, but not a whole lot of action going on early in the week. Wednesday, that's when I think we'll get those impacts being felt from what will be Bertha. Probably some more scattered storms across the area and some breezy conditions on Wednesday, some rough marine conditions and minor coastal flooding. But I think the threats for our part of the Gulf really are going to be minor because all of the rain looks to be sheared off to the south, and a lot of that heavy rain looks to be happening offshore and well to the south in the Gulf waters. But there could be some heavier showers moving in our part of the Gulf going into the midweek time frame, especially along the coast. So make sure you stay tuned. There's still going to be some uncertainty with the forecast, but I think so far we're going to plan for a little bit more rain midweek and a little bit more of a breeze with us and some more coastal impacts midweek too.